Hello everyone, we are live for the second part of Escoffier story quest, so let's go, shall we? On the daily commission. It is very late. Another year and the new event. What the hell? No, this is not possible. There is also the new event. I knew it. Whirling Waltz. Whirling Waltz.
My parents always.
I guess I do the domain immediately. Do the domain immediately, the event, and hopefully I get some good artifact. Where is she?
Into the wind.
No. I almost made a mess here. No, I'm full. What the fuck? What should I do now? I'm very full. This is the new artifact I made yesterday. I don't have 4 substat. This is bad. It is quite bad. So with this HP one, yeah. Not bad, bad.
High. The birds come. The wind knows me.
Nowhere to hide.
That was fast for this team. Yes, I'm full. Already forgot I was full. No crit damage. I threw it away anyway. Bad, bad. Let's go on.
Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home. Yoo-hoo!
Into the wind.
Speed of light. With sword comes shadow. Don't blink. Hey! Everyone hold hands. Incoming.
I was quite slower this time. Yes. No, I don't want to do this. Bad. Let's say bad.
The Temple of Wisdom. Time to shine. Strike a path.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows it.
Nowhere to hide. Speed of light.
Bah, 27 seconds is not bad. And as I said, today is not the day for crit damage. No, wait a second, what happened here? Friday is the my day for crit damage, I guess. Bad. 8 of damage bonus. Bad. Let's go.
I see everything.
One with nature.
With sword comes shadow. Incoming. Don't blink. Speed of light.
Die.
Hey!
Anyway, this artifact is gone. These are these elemental master. I don't really care a lot. It went very bad, very poorly. I think it misdirected me. We needed to do the event because it is very late. This is trash. Perfect. We'll do it. I'm scared to level up this one. went on defense, but it doesn't matter.
I'm all for work-life balance.
Let's go for the event very quickly. Let's go with the event. There's even a quest. Story quest. And Overnight Fantasyland. Act 1. Act 1. First act. Save. Line Fontaine directly. I didn't have to use the artifact today, I had to save it for tomorrow. I made a mistake. Where is the team?
Running late again. Oof. Hey, there's a newsstand over there. Wanna grab a copy of the Steambird? We know our Fontanian friends love a little drama. There's no way they let their readers down. Isn't it Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kaniche?
How about... Lost treasure resurfaces at last. Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup.
There's no voiceover for her.
Pretty shocking. But it still feels like it's missing something. Ah, got it. Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Udex was stabbed and gravely wounded? No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
Yeah, that, and also a less than pleasant shock. What the heck was all that about a story of meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed? Please say you weren't being serious. Trading tabloid headlines?
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material. If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
You mean those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some basis in fact?
Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods, it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in Natlan. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kinich.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough. But I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than you are in trying to uncover some news stories about Natlan. I appreciate your kind invitation, but like I said, storytelling isn't really my forte.
Kinich the speechless! Kinich the tongue-tied! Huh?
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Charlotte never stops, does she? Anyway, Paimon just has to ask. That how thing that popped out before, or was it a how? It kind of looked like a how, but at the same time...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a how.
Huh? What's up with him? Like, he's still noisy, but he's way quieter than before. It's like he's trying to hide or something.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing? Aw, poor Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine. Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Paimon sure does! Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kinich holds onto a how's tail, he'll be considered an Almighty Dragon Lord balloon, not a flying Almighty Dragon Lord.
Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But a how wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along? I know where it is, so let me lead the way. Looks like I remembered correctly. Here we are.
Wow, this believe it was just an empty beach before.
Yeah, it was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine. Quite impressive.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da! But is this all it takes to blow people away? Oh, no, no, no. Given my past experience, I can't let myself get carried away. Oh no, you've forgotten me? Oh, does graph adversarial technology ring any bells? It's me, Lapine Pauline! Of course! How else would we have managed to build Fantasyland in a single night?
Fantasyland?
At least that's how I like to think of it myself. A magical land of fantasy, the stuff of film buffs' dreams. I know it sounds like I'm laying it on thick, but that really is the goal here. As you can see, the theme of this amusement park is Fontanian filmmaking, a place for all film lovers to come together and co-construct a world of dreams.
Co-construct? Well, that's a relief. Sounds like you're sharing the cost this time rather than pouring your entire life savings into a single project.
Nope! I might be inviting others to help fund this, but that doesn't mean I haven't thrown all my life savings into it too!
Huh? You've got to be kidding. Ha! Look at you, puny little humans. Recklessly betting your entire future against some stupid vanity project. If you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the almighty Dragon Lord, dream on! Mockery is all you shall get, straight from the heart!
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
Gizmoid? Who you calling Gizmoid? You're the Gizmoid!
Wow! That's quite a nifty mecha you've got yourself there. Is it some sort of smart personal assistant? You ought to let Miss Charlotte see your cool gadget. Oh, who knows? Maybe you could even look into mass production!
Mass production? Ugh, insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! There has never been another like me, nor will there ever be! And another thing, smart is the understatement of the century! I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom! I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
What? Heavens above! I beg your pardon, forebear of ancient wisdom. Please, I meant no offense.
Idiot meets idiot.
What's all the fuss? Making some new friends, are we?
Miss Navia! Allow me to introduce the star behind all the work that's gone into this venue. Miss Navia, president of Fontaine Spina di Rosula.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon, how have you been lately?
Hello there. I'm Kanich.
What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, see that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Navia, was it? Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. Navia, don't you think the title Almighty Dragon Lord is a bit silly.
It's no big deal. All little animals do that, don't they? I mean, try to puff themselves up to look more impressive.
Anyway, it's all thanks to Miss Navia and the Spina di Rosula that Fantasyland's gotten up and running in the space of a single night. Honestly, thank heavens! After all that paperwork and endless waiting, the event and venue finally got the green light. I couldn't wait a moment longer. The second the approval came through, I reached out to President Navia hoping she could lend a hand. After all, who else but the Spina di Rosula would indulge such impulsive demands?
Sorry, traveler. Miss Lapine Pauline sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed by her own excitement. As you can see, I'm guessing she hasn't gone into much detail about the event yet. So let me fill you in. In short, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is a fan convention that's open to film enthusiasts from all over Teyvat. Miss Lapine Pauline is hosting this event and also providing technical support.
Huh? Cheval Moran?
That's right! The one and only Surintendant Cheval Moran! After much persistence and many solicitations, I finally obtained Lady Farina's permission to use the image of her close friend. Not only is our adorable mascot drawing in fans by the minute, but she's also boosting her own popularity. And that was always the goal. A win-win arrangement.
I need a moment.
It's been a while since we last met, but still, it's a surprise to hear Lapine Pauline coming out with such sensible ideas. By the way, Miss Lapine Pauline, have you decided to switch careers and go into film tech?
Not exactly. By chance, one of the prototype lenses I developed caught a photographer's eye, and it's now being used for the latest cinematic productions! Thanks to this unexpected opportunity, I've had the chance to invent various film-related equipment and props.
That's right. So don't underestimate Miss Lapine Pauline, our resident engineer. She's the technical powerhouse at the core of this entire event. As for the Spina di Rosula, we're mainly here to take care of planning, operations, and management. For anyone feeling inspired to set up a booth, Miss Lapine Pauline and I will provide the necessary technical and operational support once their application has been approved. By the way, traveler, are you at all interested in taking part? It would be a chance for you to earn some extra income. Plus, with your skills, I'm sure you could bring something special to the table.
Paimon would be even more tempted if you were to, say, throw in one of those fancy feasts she's seen in those gourmet food reels.
Well, as it happens, that'll be a piece of cake. Everyone needs to eat, whether they be tourists or the stall owners themselves. So thanks to Miss Navia's help, we've managed to invite none other than the celebrity chef, Miss Escoffier, to run our theme restaurant. Look over there!
You! Yes, you! For the last time, the ingredients have to be in the right ratio! Get it right next time, or you might as well just lie down on the chopping board yourself.
She seems a bit busy right now.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make a How go be her assistant.
You little... What's your game here?
Demoiselle, sorry to bother you, but there's an issue over here that requires your personal attention.
Apologies. Looks like it's back to work with me. Please feel free to take a gander at what we've got. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part, come find me later.
Greetings. Apologies if you overheard my harsh words just now, but I assure you it is entirely necessary. The sheer lack of standards here will be the death of me. Do you have any idea of the kind of customers I'm gonna get with how lax things are at the moment? The ones that leave their guns behind by accident, and then come back to collect them later bringing ammunition with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh...
Wait, has that happened before?
No, it's just the mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a mysterious locked box. It didn't look like something from Fontaine, though. It had more of a Natlanese vibe.
Oh?
Do you think a foreign tourist might have left it behind?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rocks, and whatnot, so it seemed like someone deliberately hid it there. But I didn't see much point in speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to hand it over to the authorities. I trekked all the way over to the Palais Mermonia just to hand it in. Ugh, it was exhausting.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions about whose responsibility it was to write the lost and found notice. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to crack the lock and check if there were any dangerous items inside. And, as it turned out, there was a gun.
Wow, that's a dangerous item, all right.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Knich, you're from Natlan, aren't you? Do you know a lot about guns?
You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Such a spoiled brat.
What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... Don't dare you turn your nose up at my gifts! Why
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
It's a bit hard to describe. If you ask me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch. Something like this.
Whoa, it's so neat and precise!
It's nothing. Sorry. Is something wrong with my drawing? I know it doesn't really look like a gun, but I assure you, this is exactly what it looked like. And it certainly could shoot as well, too. I confirmed that with the officer from the Marechaussee Phantom.
No, quite the opposite. The features are very accurate, and it is definitely from Natland. Please, don't mind me. I'm just taking a moment to admire it.
I should be the one thanking you. Thank you, and everyone else for your support.
Don't mention it. Besides, we haven't really done anything.
Not at all! The buzz and excitement you guys bring is exactly what this event needs. Oh dear, I'm starting to feel a bit guilty watching everyone else toil away. Guess it's about time I got back to work too. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration.
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon. But in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
Running late again. Here I go!
Traveler, it's you! Ready to join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland crew? It's time, dear partner and Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the Spina di Rosula to handle the planning, construction, and operations. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing the event booths. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring, and we barely have any experience running a stall.
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Tevat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first. Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run. As you can see, our Fantasyland's a bit like a sugar-free macaron right now. Several areas are still under construction. The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, we don't have enough experience to handle multiple projects simultaneously. That's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method, so we can focus on specific tasks during each designated period. Upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring staff. All of this requires funds and time slots to accomplish. So, it's our job to allocate precious time slots in each business cycle to the most worthwhile tasks. As we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us get more done.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can focus on within each time period. Which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more Mora. Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Cooking up a strategy in advance is gonna be key. Paimon thinks she just about gets it. How do you feel about it, Traveler? Yep, come on, we can do this. You mentioned standardized strategy guides just now. Does that mean there are non-standard ways to take part too?
Of course. Film and entertainment mean different things to different people. And there's gonna be a wide range of exciting activities for people to try out. If we're not careful, some visitors might wander off and end up getting in trouble. And others might pick up dangerous props by mistake. To avoid confusion, we need to create a standardized strategy guide for each activity. Just think of it like a walkthrough.
Wow, if we're the first ones to test out the activities, who knows what surprises there could be waiting for us. But if we hit a tough spot, we'll just have to rely on our skills to carry us through.
Hopefully it goes without saying that I'd never put you in danger, partner. I carefully checked all the existing activities before you arrived, and I can assure you that they're all perfectly safe. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else gets to. It'll be fun. Plus, we'd like to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at. Making people feel safe and having fun.
Great! Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. Your input is super important to us. All right then. Let's start with eclectic escapades and put a... All right then. Time to try out eclectic escapades. I'll leave the strategy guide to you guys.
But I really don't know this how works. It is like this. I lost some coin, I think. No, I made a mistake. I lost many coins now. Go up. No, go up, go up. I lost some coins.
Both of you seem even more excited than before. Looks like your first...
Paimon hasn't actually watched that many films, but after trying it out, she might just be hooked. We should check out the film that it's based on.
Great job, Paimon. That's exactly what our enthusiast friends were hoping you'd say. They'd be beyond delighted to hear that visitors are curious about the films that inspired these attractions. Some have even been willing to contribute extra funds out of their own pockets.
Out of their own pockets?
That's right. While the Spina di Rosula covers the cost of basic booth materials and rental fees, many fans have personally funded promotional materials and related merchandise. The cost of the booth itself isn't their main expense. Some of them have already started designing spin-off products inspired by film characters. Take our official mascot, Sir Intendant Chevalmoran, for instance. She won second place in the last most popular character poll for the comic film category, and was even dubbed the pinnacle of round, bouncy cuteness. Many people have expressed interest in designing cushions based on her image, using the highest quality fabrics and hiring the most skilled artisans to mass produce them. These cushions will officially go on sale at the next convention alongside lots of similar products. Don't worry. As Sir Intendant Chevalmoran's guardian and official image rights agent, Farina's already getting 60% of the sales revenue. After all, the fans are doing this voluntarily, not for profit, but to promote Sir Intendant Chevalmoran's adorable image. The more Mora ends up in Farina's purse, the better Sir Intendant Chevalmoran's meals will be. And who wouldn't be happy to hear that?
Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. Everyone working hard for something they all love without worrying about profit.
Still, we can't just ignore Mora completely. Whether it's fan creations or official commercial projects, some level of financial balance is still necessary. The same logic applies to the Chevalmoran Film Fantasyland taken as a whole. Once we finish the standardized strategy guides, our attractions can officially be open to the public. But we can't take personal charge of the ticketing process. There's plenty of work to do at the various booths, and the park itself is a work in progress. We'll need to assign dedicated employees to maintain and manage each attraction. There's a recruitment section on the park's bulletin board. We've received many applications, and each candidate has their strengths. Our job is to match the best candidates to each attraction based on their overall performance. Once assigned, the staff will keep the attractions running, ensuring a continuous revenue stream.
Wait, so we've suddenly gone from being playtesters to heads of human resources? That's definitely a first for us. Just don't hold everyone up to your own standards, okay? You can't expect everyone else to be as capable as you. Alright, time to review some resumes. Fingers crossed we'll get some exceptional candidates.
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra. when reviewing resumes, pay attention to each applicant's area of expertise.
Looks like this particular employee is really getting into their role.
You're both doing great. You sound more like bosses than I. In any case, with this, the Chevalmoran Film Fantasyland is now officially open. Running a theme park is a long-term project. You won't make much if you try and rush it. We're just about done with our current work setup, so let's take a short break and wait for this cycle's revenue report to come in. Well, this cycle of operations sure got us off to a good start. On to the next one. Well, this cycle of operations sure got... Well, the numbers might not look that impressive, but given that we're just getting the ball rolling, I'd say that wasn't a bad start. Building on this momentum, we must consider rolling out more unique business strategies during the next cycle. To draw in the crowds, I've invited one of Fontaine's very own celebrity chefs, my good friend Escoffier. She'll be performing right here in the amusement park's restaurant. On that note, let's go catch up with her.
So, is the restaurant part of our business strategy too? There are so many layers to this operation.
The restaurant is up to standard, and the waterside location will make for a unique dining experience. The beautiful scenic reflections in the water create a stunning backdrop, lifting diners' spirits and allowing them to truly savor their meals. Ingredients, check. Cooking utensils, check. Looks like we're ready to rumble.
Hey there, Escoffier!
Oh, my employers are here. The president of the Spina di Rasula, plus the famous traveler and Paimon. I must say, you seem a bit overqualified to be running a film-themed amusement park.
I'd say that if anyone here was overqualified, it would be the former head chef of the Hotel de Boer. Wherever you walk, the aroma of fine cuisine follows in your wake.
Let's get back to business. I'm guessing you want the traveler to help me decide the theme dish for each cycle.
This is the business strategy I mentioned earlier. Using Escoffier's top-tier dishes to attract more visitors to the park. But this isn't just about attracting visitors. Her culinary masterpieces will surely have other surprising effects. Just imagine, Paimon, if all you needed was a single ticket to enjoy all the attractions and taste all the legendary food. Wouldn't you be tempted?
Then Paimon come every single day.
Now, here's the twist. To get the most out of this strategy, the menu can't be made public. Based on research by a certain food branding consultant, many restaurants have started offering a special chef surprise dish. So give me some inspiration every few business cycles, and I'll decide on our next theme dish. Now then, give me your hand. A warm and energetic feel. Your hands are calloused from wielding your sword, but still quite delicate. When you grasp its hilt, it's like you're holding the bow of a violin. A sword, then. The theme this time shall be strength. Alright, let's find out what strength looks like in gastronomical form. I've refined the sauce for these barbecue ribs. It's a richer flavor than the classic version, but not at all greasy. The mint extract in the seasoning leaves a refreshing aftertaste. Perfect for indulging yourself after a fun-filled day. But if you ask me, I'd say the artisans need these more than the guests.
The artisans?
As I'm sure you've noticed, this park isn't quite finished. A serving of these barbecue ribs should help the artisans replenish their strength much more quick. As their bosses, you have an obligation to provide meals for them. So why not invite them to dine here? Who knows? The morale boost might even improve their productivity.
Oh? If I recall correctly, you once served up some special fish and chips for the porters over at the Fleuve Sandra. For several days after, the workers were all incredibly efficient. They'd finish 8 hours of work in just 5. And then, because they clocked out early, they'd come back completely refreshed the next day.
Then there's no time to lose. Go invite the artisans over while these ribs are still hot.
That's a great idea! You really live up to your reputation, Escoffier. Looks like these themed dishes are gonna make a huge difference after all. We'll have to make sure we check in with you regularly. The artisans are pumped and ready to roll thanks to that themed dish.
And perfect timing, too. Let's take this chance to take the facilities of our eclectic escapades to the next level.
That unique aroma. I wonder how you'll inspire my cooking this time. Alright then, I'll just go with the flow. It's about time for a fresh new flavor.
We should be able to attract more customers by upgrading the stall, don't you think?
That's right. Based on my business experience with the Spina di Rosula, I've quantified the service value to help you intuitively understand how satisfied customers are with each stall. An attraction will reach its ideal revenue only when its service value meets customer expectations. As we improve and expand our facilities, expectations will also increase accordingly. When that happens, we can deploy more capable employees, or invest funds in training to enhance our employees' skills. Whew, that should be everything. Looks like you've pretty much mastered how to run this park.
Huh? Have we really? Thinking about it, we have learned quite a lot, haven't we?
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't say I taught you much. Your intuition's been guiding the way mostly. I imagine long-term operations sounded like a scary prospect the first time I mentioned it, huh? But don't let that scare you. Just break things down into smaller steps and tackle them one at a time. Even if you're not a genius or naturally gifted, you'll get it done in the end.
Whoa, seeing her own progress has really got Paimon fired up! Actually, she's gonna jot your words of encouragement right down. From here on out, we'll be running the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland together. Let's make it a big success!
What is this? Send the last approach the barrage firing device to destroy it. With an ability in the right moment to avoid the barrage more easily and get close to the target device faster. I made a mistake. But avoid. It is difficult this one. Bah.
We've gone over budget in quite a few areas. But, whatever. The results are what counts.
Hurry up, Brassa!
this is too long.
There's a lot that goes into managing an orchard. Watering, weeding, fertilizing the soil, making sure the temperature... right? But most importantly... you have to keep the fruit in a good mood.
these things doesn't end. Is it possible to do it in one day, this one? I don't know. andata già a letto. La scia che è rotta a metà di... It is over.
Oh, man.
Bro!
Are you mimicking me? Now's not the time. Come on.
No, I mean, one of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
Aurora and Aoife, what brings you to Fontaine?
Huh? How come you're... Ah, I'm guessing Kanich is here because of that international smuggling case, right? I've heard quite a bit about that.
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
First time abroad and you're already making headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I was the center of attention.
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. What were we talking about again?
why you're all here, of course.
For vegetables.
For Kakuku.
I'll go first. It's for the Chevrolamine Film Fantasyland. Wait, is that right?
It's Cheval Moran.
Ah, right. I keep stumbling over that one. Guess I owe Cheval Moran an apology, even if she's not here. Anyway, long story short, the festival restaurant urgently needed fresh vegetables from Natlan, which is why Aoife and I are here.
So, you guys are vegetable couriers?
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
Even though it's your first time too.
Right, but they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Don't you get it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Wait, what? So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too? See, doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad about that?
In theory, nothing at all. In that case, guess I better start over. Hi guys, my name's Aoife, and I just turned 5.
Paimon's not sure who the responsible adult is anymore. So, what about Kakuku? If he was here, we'd be making more of a ruckus than we already are.
That's exactly what's got me worried.
Aoife, there's nothing to worry about. You're a big boy. You can handle yourself now even without Kakuku.
You think that's what I'm worried about? Anyway, my priority right now is Kakuku. Suffice it to say, Kakuku's in big doo-doo.
How so? He's so small, and all he knows are a few harmless phrases. What kind of trouble could he even get himself into?
Let me guess. Did he get caught out by the law on flying objects?
Bro, you too?
Not me. How?
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
That, plus he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until tomorrow.
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Kakuku so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
Oh no, bro. Or rather, did Kakuku get caught by the guards for flying around?
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Kakuku flew into that building next door. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a high-stakes pursuit going down in there as we speak. Just like one of those cool crime movies.
Which building? That one?
Yup, that's the one. Kakuku sure has a good eye for a getaway. It's the tallest building around. I may be able to fly up pretty high, but checking every last window would still take quite a while. As for Aoife, well, let's just say he's not flying anywhere without a Saurian. Sorry about that.
Not like it's my fault, though. You don't have to apologize on my behalf.
Wait a sec. What's this got to do with how high you can fly? Kakuku's got himself into a real mess here. Like a panicked animal running straight into a trap. It's pretty worrying. I'm starting to picture him flapping through a barrage of gunfire while important documents are flying about left, right, and center.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Kakuku. He's always been such an awesome Saurus. I believe in him.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make light of something like that.
All right. Everyone's an awesome Saurus. Well, the human version. But our priority right now should be to go in there and check up on Kakuku.
Leave it to us.
You sure? Wow, awesome. That'll be a huge help.
And if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call, bro.
Alright then, if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I also give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
There you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find us.
He won't. Trust me.
Back when we first met Kukuku in the wild and I begged you to take him under your wing, I never imagined you'd end up spoiling him rotten.
And I never imagined you'd be nagging me about it.
Oh, well, I definitely saw that coming.
Huh?
You're only 5 years old after all.
Late again.
Nothing new there. What's all that?
No way, bro!
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no. Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
He's a friend, yeah. A Saurian friend, let's say.
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex? I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh wow, oh no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
Wow! It really is exactly like Lapine Pauline's sketch! That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request. Don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this gun's lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Yep, we were just about to go help out with Lapine Pauline's convention. If there's any news, we'll keep you all posted.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kakuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kakuku. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
Alright then, we'd better get going. No need to see us off.
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Nadland would soon start showing up all over the world. But I hadn't expected anything like this.
It seems no matter where they come from, all dragons are inquisitive by nature.
You can say that again, bro!
The same might well be said for humankind. The real reason you chose to stay to investigate this case was your curiosity about Natlan and Mr. Kakuku, was it not?
Guilty as charged. Nothing gets past you. So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little more? We've got the world's best translator on hand, after all.
Sure thing, bro! Aurora, we found Kakuku!
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Kakuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kakuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kakuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not that bad. Kakuku accidentally overheard some top secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Marmonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement. But there's no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kakuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
Problem solved! Alright, let's catch up another day!
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow.
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times. I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
Time to roll!
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanagem isn't for a while. Check on her? Why? What happened? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me. Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Coffee. Need coffee. coffee. Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up on your sleep when you get the chance.
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama. Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures. Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a Gâteau plateau, huh?
Ugh, idiot. Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on, there's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the Codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's Codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, maritime flowers, and See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There is no time for that. Maritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
A little amuse bouche.
or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Hey, be careful! Scare them off too much and they might not come back again. Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying. Hey, it's open!
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You
chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs.
Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad.
I couldn't care less about the cake itself.
No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere. They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping. Suffer the wrath of Eastling! Fulfiller, burn it down! Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests. A dash of frosting!
Hey, be careful! Scare them off too much and they might not come back again.
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers. A little amuse-bouche! Yoo-hoo! Get to work! Light it up! I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
I bought a plan on the porch just
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. Huh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from— Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills!
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gâteau de Bourg.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life. And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine!
empty. It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else! Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out! Strike up! You two! Time to end them! Off to the freezer!
Why is this place still shaking? Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler! Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming. Huh?
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
Savannah? Oh, when did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venegem! What are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmin? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time. Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, And then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius. And I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Huh? But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between 2 top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today, right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened? I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Boer revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Boer?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Boer. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Boer?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Sibeli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Hey!
Huh?
Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? freshly unearthed from the ruins of Rumoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Many insects have a compulsion to follow the light, and humans are the same. Except we call that light hope.
Try and stop me!
This realm is... If you ever...